Hello, everybody. Hello, Nana Laura. Hello, Spider-Man. Hello, Lisette Panette. So tonight's theme is, oh, the entitlement. Yeah. I was really only going to do like 1 or 2 cases out of this docket. But after every case, I would be like, oh, let me just listen to the first couple lines of the next one. And yeah, it ended up being a lot of them. Hello, Mortimer Duke. How you doing? Yeah, it's that judge that looks really young. But yeah, she's turns out when you get her mad, she's not afraid to yell. Hello, Jenny. Hi, Ava. Hi, Ava. How you doing, baby girl? You need to back up a little and let everybody see your pretty face. Come on, Eva. There we go. Just tear the house down. Oh. I love Chinny's I love yous up. Hi. Come on. And then we've got Tiny Kitten and Earl. They've had the zoomies all day. Yes. Just another wonderful day at the PAWFURM. All right. Ava's going to get her last Buffalo Health bar in a minute. Hello, Catherine Gaston. Did you miss Manning? You just be glad that I didn't go both dockets like I was planning on it. I felt terrible when I closed the stream off last night. I couldn't breathe out of my nose. I was just all kinds of ucky. And I spent most of the day all kinds of ucky. And so yeah, I don't know if I was coming down with something or what. But hi, Earl, you got the zoom zooms. You got the zoomy zooms. What's up, buds? You know what I should do? I should turn on that laser toy for him. Let's see if we can watch Earl go crazy in the background while we watch cases. Oh, Ava, don't even start with me. Don't even start with me, Ava. Hi, Allie Cat. How you doing, sweetie? I missed you too. Ava, quit it. All right, guys. You're going to wait. Come on out. That's where my feet go. Thank you. Okay. She's like, yeah, that's where your feet go. And your hands go on my head. Oh. Okay. Done and done. I wish it was that easy. I'm not gonna lie, I feel better tonight than I felt all day. Yeah, today was awful, but tonight is a little bit better. Oh, I do. Trust me, vitamin C and vitamin D. I've got them. Oh, and I've got a Billy. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. I felt terrible cutting the stream early last night, but we made it through the one whole Manning docket, and I was like, I can't do another. I can't do another. I was broken. I was just when you can't breathe through your nose. That's like the end of it. That there is no talkity talk after that. Oh, good. You can keep me company. All right, guys. I think Ava is alluding to her need for green grass. So let me put this on. I'll see if I can calm her down. And if not, then, then I'll have to take her out.
All right, we got the Housing and Community Services versus Portia Harris.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Excuse me, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Travis Gray for the plaintiff.
Miss Portia, give me 1 minute. I'm going to let counsel give me some general information, and then I'll let you speak, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead, counsel. Get us started.
Yes, Your Honor. This is a eviction for non-payment of rent pursuant to a lease. Monthly rent amount is $739. It is due for partial March, then full April, May for rent only through May of $1,651. And a 30-day notice was provided on March 19th by first-class mail and certified mail.
Okay, and there is no housing in this, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, Miss Portia, first of all, do you agree that your base monthly rent is $739?
No, ma'am. The last lease that I signed was for $669. I refused to sign the last lease drafted due to property damage by either management or somebody on management's end when I was not in the apartment.
Okay, counsel, do you have a lease or anything binding her to $739?
Yes, Your Honor. Sharing my screen right now. Let's see, the rent increased. There's a notice of rent increase effective March 1st, which is the first month that we are seeking partial for. Yes, so it increased from $669 to $739.
Okay. All right, thank you, counsel. All right, Miss Portia, so I do have a letter stating that the rent is $739. Miss Portia, did you pay March, April, and May's rent?
I paid $669 for those months, ma'am.
And you paid all three of those?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have proof of that?
I can definitely email you the videos of me dropping the money order in the Dropbox, and also my bank statement where I took them from security service. I can email those to you as well.
Counsel, do you see those three payments?
Let me pull up my ledger real quick, Your Honor. Apologies. Okay, I'm do a share screen again. Here's what we got. Does let's see, the last payment of six. Yes, it seems like tenant just disregarded the rent increase, therefore was just submitting an amount that was insufficient to cover the full month's rent. That's resulting in the delinquent amount we have currently of $1,651.
Okay, leave that up there real quick.
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Portia, we do have your payments on here. Obviously, we know that your rent increased, so your payment was short. So therefore, the remaining balance is $1,651. At this point, is there anything that you can do or offer to become current?
Yes, I would like to bring up evidence that Rosie, part of this rental amount were checks, money orders that she had sent back to me from last year. She had given me a lease violation on my birthday of last year for non-payment of rent, but I paid $669 for, I believe, May, June, and July. And I believe I was taken to eviction court July of 2024. And, whoever I can't remember the attorney's name, but I told him, I said, I've my, my payments available. I paid it back. I mean, I paid my rent. So, Rosie is fabricated numerous times on these violations, stating that, I don't pay rent, or that I've locked my apartment when I'm not even there. I've been in out of state for post-op appointments.
Okay. All right, Ms. Portia, so I understand that you have concerns, and a lot of that may be outside of the scope of evictions. I'm not saying you don't have recourse. You might want to hire an attorney or file whatever certain case you need to file. But for today's purposes, it's strictly about rent. So have you paid, I'm sorry, what can you offer at this point to become current?
The lease amount for whatever month for this year was granted, because here's her letter. She sent she sent my rent back to me after I had paid it, after she fabricated on legal documentation that I had not paid my rent. And she's changed that letter several times. And I believe I did with Mr. Armando Cruz, I did file for I guess countersuing, because her documentation's completely incorrect. I've never had any issues until Rosie decided to, for the past 3 years, she's been trying to get me evicted, and even make up lies. I got into a multi-vehicle car accident with an 18-wheeler and an
Ms. Portia, we are getting way off track here. Ms. Portia, is there anything that you can do or offer to become current?
On which amount though? Like on
1651 is the total amount that's owed right now, strictly rent. Now, I'm not saying that that is the current amount, because of course you've got late fees, court costs, whatever else they tack on at the end, whatever your lease is bound by. But in court, they can only ask for back rent. So right now you're behind 1651 for March, April, and May, because you did not pay the full balance of the rent. I'm not saying you didn't pay your portion. What you think your portion was, but you didn't pay the full amount. So at this point, you are delinquent 1651. Is there anything that you can do or offer to become current?
I can't imagine why they would want to evict her. I mean, someone who pays what they want to pay instead of what the actual rent is, who wouldn't want that tenant?
I can pay the difference by the end of this month for for whatever is the $669 that I paid and the $734. I could pay those difference for these 3 months.
Okay, Mr. Gray, is that something you're interested in? Or are you seeking judgment today?
We're seeking judgment, Your Honor.
Okay, are you seeking any attorney fees?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Portia, since there's nothing that can be asked or given today, they are not seeking a payment plan. They are not interested in that. So at this point, judgment's going to be in the amount of 1651. You do have 5 days to move out or appeal it.
Okay, and how do I go for the appeal process?
So if you need any information on the appeal process, you can go up to the front and speak to the clerks.
I am not in court at this moment. I am actually in an orthopedic surgeon's office.
Okay, so you can hang up the phone and call the court.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Portia. Have a good one.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, counsel. Tara versus a Kimberly Jones.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
All right.
ma'am.
Give me 1 minute. Go ahead, Tara.
All right.
Monthly rent is $925, Your Honor, zero subsidy. We're seeking back rent for partial of March, all of April, and all of May.
Okay,
And
give me
sorry, yes,
give me 1 minute, Tara. I do need to take a 5-minute break. Give me 1 minute, okay? Yep. Okay, give me one.
Did you have Whitney Johnson?
Yes, ma'am.
That's who y'all working on now?
No, we have right now Kimberly Jones.
Whitney Johnson, what happened with her before?
We're just waiting.
Okay.
I'm here. I'm in court. I wrote in the chat that I was
No, I
disconnected.
just wanted to make sure they haven't called you. Just mute yourself till they ready for you, hon. Thank you. Okay. So she hadn't been
I think
called.
she might be next
Okay, that's what I
after
wanted to make sure.
Kimberly Jones.
Okay. Okay.
Rise for the back
I'm
session.
here too.
Sorry about that, guys. Okay, Tara. Sorry, you had mentioned the monthly rent was $925. Back rent started in March to what time?
To May.
To May. Okay, and the total amount was?
$2,571.
Okay. Ms. Jones, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Jones, first of all, do you agree that your base monthly rent is $925?
Yes, ma'am.
Second of all, do you agree that March through May has not been paid?
Yes.
Is there anything that you can do or offer them to become current?
No, ma'am. I already moved out, but I am gonna try to appeal it because it's disgusting how I had to live. So, but I already moved everything out.
Okay, Ms. Jones, when did you move out?
I got everything completely moved out a couple of days ago, maybe 3 days ago.
Okay. All right. So Ms. Jones, then judgment's going to be in the amount of 2571. Again, I understand that
Okay.
you moved out, but you've got 5 days to move out or appeal it. Okay.
Oh, okay. Everything's out already, but thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You have a wonderful, or actually give me 1 minute. Are you wanting to proceed forward with the eviction?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, she sent an email. She still has stuff in the apartment. She's gonna drop off keys later, so I want to.
Yeah, I'm gonna come do that later on.
Okay.
Thank you,
All right.
Ms.
Thank
Jones.
you guys. Y'all have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
What gets me is she said she's going to appeal it because it was disgusting how she had to live. I don't think she understands what the purpose of an appeal in an eviction case is. If she's already out, why would she want to appeal it? What, she wants to go back?
Right. Let me get Terra Apartments versus a Brittany Johnson. Brittany?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
All right, Brittany, go ahead, Tara.
Yes, ma'am. Monthly rent is $710, zero subsidy. We're seeking back rent for all of March, April, and May, and the total amount of $2,130.
Ms. Johnson, first of all, do you agree that your base monthly rent is $710?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Second of all, do you agree that March through May has not been paid?
Yes, ma'am, correct. But I did make a payment in, I think, April, I believe, of $200, and I made that payment in cash.
Okay. Tara, do you have proof of that?
I
too?
have her ledger here. It was on March 20th. She paid $200.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, that went to her back balance.
Okay, that's fine. No, as long as you have credit for it, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, Ms. Johnson, is there anything you can do or offer them right now to become current?
Honestly, no, ma'am. I already moved out the apartment as of today. I
Okay.
just moved out the last of my stuff. And I honestly, the amount she just gave you guys is not the amount that they've been telling me in person verbally. I just went to the office today and let them know that the amount that they've been charging me on the transaction page does not match anything that I signed on my lease. So now the rent amount is $710, but on the transaction page for the eviction, the rent is $925 with a credit of $215 that they just verbally told me today in the office, because I did get into an altercation with Miss Drake as well in the office because she's very ugly and nasty. She just do not. And I'm so sorry. I'm gonna be very honest. But at the end of the day, I want to pay what I actually owe and not what they made up.
Okay, so Ms. Johnson, I'm for the sake of getting two different amounts, I don't know if this is correct or not, but for court purposes, they can only ask for the back rent.
Yes,
No
ma'am.
fees, no penalty fees, no trash, light, water, whatever else you signed.
Okay.
But
Yes,
the
ma'am.
amount that they're giving you in the office is the actual amount that you owe with all the late fees, penalty fees, whatever you locked in with your lease. So
Okay.
that's why that amount is completely different from court. But as far as your judgment on your record, all you're paying is back rent. And
Okay.
that's it. No late fees, no nothing to get it off your credit.
Understood. Thank you, Your Honor, for explaining
Sure.
that as well. And then also, I did apply for assistance
Mhm.
originally for the relocation assistance. I did get approved for the relocation assistance
Okay.
because of domestic violence. And that's how I moved into the apartment originally, finding them. But
Okay.
from the city of San Antonio, they actually canceled my application because the apartments kept giving them inaccurate vendor information. And it was 1, 2, maybe 3 times. And the third time, I let the city of San Antonio know that I was already in the process of moving out and that I wouldn't be able to even need the services here anymore. As well as rental assistance, I applied for that as well. And they did let me know that they do not have to take rental assistance because it's only guaranteed if you're ahead of your rent. And rental assistance is only approved. You only get approved for rental assistance if you're behind, not ahead.
Okay, so Ms. Johnson, as far as rental assistance, every apartment complex has their own criteria. I can't force anybody to accept any rental assistance. So if they choose not to accept it, that is their prerogative. As far as the city of San Antonio and your relocation, we do have them here online. I can definitely get you to talk to them right now if you like.
Oh, no, I've already spoke with them. They called me. They're the ones who reached out to me about the apartments and them not giving them accurate vendor information so they could send a payment to them to go towards my rent.
Okay. Again, I can't force them to accept or send anything. So that would be between y'all two, or you can hire an attorney if you feel your rights have been violated.
I actually did for that. Is that a different courtroom for that?
Yes, for
Okay.
if you
Yes,
filed a
ma'am.
case.
I'm not sure yet. I haven't spoke with him today. I spoke with him earlier this morning, but I do have a case for this going up because it is a lot of things that happen in this apartment complex. But I am moved out as of today, and I will drop the keys off to the office. And honestly, I'll take an eviction because I'm not going to pay them. I'm going to say that now, Judge. I do apologize. I'm not going to pay them. I did move out to a newer complex, but she can go with the judgment of an eviction. I'm fine with that.
You wanted to get government assistance to pay your rent, but you could hire an attorney? Huh?
Okay, Ms. Johnson, well, I'm glad everything worked out and you got out of the situation and that you got into a better situation. So, Ms. Johnson, your eviction's gonna stand, but again, you've got 5 days to move out or appeal it. I hope you have a great day, okay?
Okay, thank you. You as well, Your Honor. Have a great one.
Thank you, ma'am. AAMHA versus Scott and Nelson. All right, go ahead, Ms. Hannah, whenever you're ready. This is for AAMHA, or I'm sorry, not Hannah. Are you for double?
Hannah is representing us.
Okay,
Yes,
Go
I
ahead,
am
Ms.
this
Hannah.
one. Yes, Your Honor. So this is an eviction case for non-payment of rent. The monthly rent is $667. And this has been for, I guess they had a change over management. So they have not paid rent since June of 2023 until today, May 25. So we're looking at the amount of $14,674, Your Honor. And this property is under the CARES Act, so a 30 days notice was given.
And you
posted
said
out-
14,674?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead.
Mhm.
All right. And the notice to vacate was given when?
Yes, it was given on November 4th, 2024, Your Honor, with a
Okay.
30 days notice under the CARES Act.
Okay. All right, Scott and Nelson, what's going on? Are you or Miss Nelson or Scott?
No, Miss Scott. Mr. Nelson, he doesn't live there. He moved out 7 years ago.
Okay, let's start with, all right, what's going on?
I just got behind. I applied for assistance programs. I got approved 3 times. They wouldn't accept it. The last time was through City of San Antonio. They said they couldn't reach management. They wouldn't answer the phone for them. So after that, I was like, well, I can try to make it myself. I'm like, but I'll have a hard time. So it'll help if they'll give like the 3,600 or whatever. It's easier for me to try to work that off. But they said no. So I just kept getting further and further behind. But I did apply and get approved 3 times. But I mean, other than that, I mean, that's it. The condition of the apartment is unlivable. So I've been living with different people and my stuff has just been there for the past year. No heat, no electric, no fire alarms, no fire extinguisher. I've been skipped for 3 years in a row for my fire thing.
Here's an idea. Move out.
They just, nothing is fixed. I have plumbing issues. My lights flicker all the time. It's just a horrible living situation. It's been flooded twice.
And what's going on with Nelson? Do you have proof that Nelson has moved out? Did you let them know or anything, or?
Oh, yeah, he never signed the lease, the last lease. So I have he was there 2017 to 2018. I have the lease that I signed after.
Double A, do you have a lease with Nelson on there?
I
And-
do, the last lease, well, maybe she has a more recent one. Last one I have was
These are the original
2021.
On the tour.
Was in 2021 that they, 22, September, oh yeah, September 29th of 2021 to the September 28th, 22. Maybe she has a more current one, Your Honor.
Yeah, we got separated. We're just co-parenting, so.
Because this property was managed by a different company before, so RPM took over last year, 2024, Your Honor. And so, yeah, she has not paid rent for a whole year of 2024 and
Okay,
partial of 23.
Okay, give me 1 minute.
Okay.
I just need a lease or anything binding them, Double A.
The last one I have
Well-
for 2017 and 2018.
Does it have him on there?
Yes.
Okay, let me see that. Because I have one from 2018 that doesn't have him on there. Okay, so I have the 2018 where they took him off. So there's this, Joe, give her that. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the rest of the leases don't have it on.
Okay, and then Joe, let the department see this one. So that's the most current one that I have unless anybody else has got me another one, and that's an affid, no, give it to the plaintiff. Joe, the plaintiff, so she can see it.
Sorry.
Well, the earliest one I have is 2021, Your Honor. Is that more
You have a
recent?
2021?
Yes, but I can share it here.
Oh, yeah, I
Yes.
have that one.
Does it have Nelson on it?
No.
It does not, Your
Okay,
Honor.
so I need one with Nelson if you're binding him to this amount.
So do we need to, if we're not binding him, because he's not on the lease, do we need to do an amendment, Your Honor?
No, I could do a non-suit to Nelson and proceed on Scott.
Okay, so
Okay.
is that the best way we can do, Your Honor?
Well, unless I can give you a 1-week reset till you figure out how to bind him.
But since he hasn't been living there, so I don't think we should be able to bind him since it's only 23, the year 2023, and he wasn't living there on this lease here. It doesn't say on the 21, so I don't think we should be able to bind him.
Yeah.
All right, so judgment's gonna be, and then in the amount of $14,674, okay? And this is gonna be for Scott, and we will do a non-suit on Nelson.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And then, Ms. Scott, again, you've got 5 days to move out or appeal it, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Scott. Have a good one.
Okay.
Double A versus Atkins. Come on up, Melvin. All right, Ms. Hannah, whenever you're ready.
Yes, Your Honor. So this is a eviction case for non-payment of rent. The monthly rent, Your Honor, is $1,268. And we're seeking back pay rent from October 2024 to May 2025 in amount of $10,144. This property is under the CARES Act, so a 30 days notice was given on January 7th, posted inside the door, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Atkins, first of all, do you agree that your base monthly rent is $1,268?
Yes, I do.
Okay, second of all, do you agree that October through May has not been paid?
No, I don't agree with that.
Okay, and why is that?
I've been making my monthly payments and they have so many management changes that they didn't went through.
Mhm.
It's like 4 changes that year, since last year.
Okay,
And I'm from the same apartment as the lady.
whose phone is on? Turn it off.
I'm from the same apartment as the lady just left out with the conditions the way they are. Right now, stuff is out in the hallway with it. Somebody was evicted, they got stuff sitting in the hallway right now.
Okay, that's not my concern right now. My
Okay,
concern
well-
is right now, your case and the payments that you've made. Okay, so they're asking from October to May. Show me some payments that you've made from October to May. You're here for eviction. This is the whole point of the case today.
Okay, well, I can't show you the payment.
Why not?
Because I stopped making the payments because of the conditions and what I was on.
Okay, so you have not made payments.
No, I haven't made.
Okay, so unfortunately, the condition of the house does not let you justify not paying rent. I don't make the rules, but
Okay, I understand that.
I'm not saying you don't have recourse, but not paying rent is not the way to do it.
Well,
Okay.
I've been paying, that's the problem. Since 23, they've been having problems. I've been paying my rent.
Okay.
And people, and like the maintenance crew that they have, that they've been having, they've been firing or whatever, they haven't been fixing anything.
Okay.
They come back, and I have a thing where I took a picture of the where I requested showing that they put complete as far as maintenance problem, but those problems have never been taken care of.
Then you can either hire an attorney or you can go file your own case, just like she did. Okay, but you cannot piggyback on her case.
No, I'm not trying to.
Okay. So right now, are you disputing that you owe $10,000?
Yes,
Okay, and why is that?
because that's not the amount that I should be close to 8,000, not
Okay.
10.
And that's why I'm asking you right now is your time in court to prove your case. You knew you had your court date today. You got served properly. So right now she's asking for October through May. Do you have any bank statements? Do you have anything proving that you have made payments to bring down this 10,000 to, according to what you say, 8,000? No, you didn't bring anything with you.
No.
Okay. So then I can't dispute that then.
Okay. No
Okay.
problem.
Is there anything that you can do or offer them right now to become
Not right now.
current?
I'm gonna kill it. I'm not trying to offer nothing.
Okay, judgment's gonna be in the amount of $10,144. Again, you've got 5 days to move out or appeal it. You can get the number from legal aid if you'd like to get some legal help if you'd like, okay? Thank you, sir. Christine and Jennifer.
Your Honor, Christine on Zoom, plaintiff.
Jennifer, you need to unmute yourself. All right, Miss Christine, go ahead and get us started. What is the monthly rent?
Your Honor, this is a holdover, and the monthly rent before the lease expired was $1,108. It was paid by government housing. She was given notice November 18th of last year that I would not be renewing her and that she would need to vacate at that time. The lease ended April 30th, and per the lease, holdover, the rent increases and accelerates to $3,324.
Okay, and right now, what are you asking for?
I'm asking for the balance that I have is $2,708 and possession, Your Honor.
And the 2708 is for what?
Okay, the 2708 is for the increase in the rent for the holdover. Also, Your Honor, on page 3 of the lease, she had a dog. The violation as additional rent, an initial amount of $300 would be charged as rent. So that is a combination of those two, Your Honor.
Okay. Miss Hernandez, what's going on?
I'm not sure. I mean, I have the receipt here from San Antonio Housing myself that they paid her. Why she doesn't want to renew my lease, I'm not sure. I cleaned her property. I have a video. She stated one time that she had a police report that they escorted 5 immigrants. I have this right here as well. This is her text message, and I requested all the police reports that have been done here, and there's no report made that there was 5 immigrants escorted out of my apartment.
Okay.
And I'm not the only one that lives on the property. There's other people that throw furniture around the dumpster, and she just comes straight to me, which I feel that's unfair, and I feel I'm discriminated with this text message.
Okay, so Ms. Hernandez, right now, she did give you a non-renewal. Is that correct? A non-renewal? She is not renewing your lease, is that correct?
Right, but I don't know for what reason. I haven't done anything to her, and
unfortunately, Ms. Garcia, if she doesn't renew it, then I can't force her to keep you there. Okay, so
even if I felt like if I'm being discriminated, like on her, like
then you can hire an attorney and figure out whatever you need to figure out and file whatever you need to file.
Her complaining that there's furniture around the dumpster and believing that you did it is not discrimination.
But right now, nothing is on file. I have a straight eviction going on. I do have a non-lease renewal, which she doesn't need permission to non-renew it. Okay, it's her property. At this point, how quickly can you move out?
Quickly, I can move out. I mean, if I can get my 30 days, I mean, that's what I mean, because I didn't do anything to her. I don't know what's her reason why she doesn't want to renew my lease, and she's been paid from housing to up to this date.
Are you currently on housing right now?
Yes, ma'am.
So is housing paying, Ms. Jacks?
Your Honor, I did notify them to cancel that we would not be accepting. They did make the payment. I did email them again, but that amount was taken off the accelerated rent that I had mentioned before.
Okay, and can I see your lease where it says the accelerated rent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. And what is the lease violations when you're done with that, Miss Christine?
Can you see that, Your Honor?
No, ma'am.
Okay. This is the first time I share. Okay. Shit.
There we go.
Okay. So
I see United Postal Receipts.
yeah, I'm trying to, okay. So I scanned everything. I did certify her, Your Honor, by certified mail. Here's the notice, okay, that I gave her, and that was back
Okay,
in
hold on. Stay right there. Hold on.
I never received.
November 18th.
Never received them. I don't recall that. I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, and then according to the lease, let me get to the page. I'm looking for page 12. It's actually the lease page. This is Saha. So I have to go down. Okay, here we go. Well, and then, yeah. Okay, holdover, Your Honor. If a tenant fails to vacate the property at the time the lease ends, tenant will pay landlord rent for the holdover period and identifying a landlord and prospective tenants for damages, including but not limited to lost rent, lodging expenses, cost of eviction, and attorney's fees. Rent for any holdover period will be 3 times the amount of the monthly rent, calculated on a daily basis, and will be immediately due and payable daily without notice or demand.
Okay, leave that right there.
Your Honor.
Go ahead, Ms. Hernandez.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I went to housing, and housing told me not to move out till I get my court order papers in my hand, and that's why I stayed, because I already have most of my stuff in the storage, but housing told me not to move out till I got my court papers in my hand. And as soon as I got my court papers, for me to go down there and give them the court papers, and that's what I did.
Okay, and at this point right now, you have no authority to stay there.
Okay, well, I see. I mean, I was just doing what housing told me to do, for me not to move.
Okay, and do you have anything from housing stating that?
No, but I can get something stating that. I didn't know I needed that in court, but they did tell me don't move to get your court papers, and we'll see what happens then. When you get the ruling, come back to us, and we'll see.
Okay.
Yes.
Miss Christine, are you willing to give her any time to move out?
No, ma'am. As you can see, the notice also identified several problems that we've had, and I gave her notice in November so she could get a new housing voucher and had plenty of time to do that before April 30th.
Okay, real quick, 1108, what is, housing pays all of that?
Yes, housing paid 100%, Your Honor.
All right. All right, Ms. Hernandez, again, unfortunately, I have nothing binding you to this apartment. They have done non-renewal. So you need to speak with housing. Judgment's going to be in the amount of 2708. You have 5 days to move out or appeal it, okay? Actually, Ms. Jocks.
Okay.
Oh, wait. If
Yes.
housing pays all of this, how does this affect, how does the tenant get established for this?
Are you talking to me, Your Honor?
Yes.
What was the question?
So if housing is paying all her rent, how is she entitled to a judgment for back rent?
Because the acceleration, as we read, turned the rent into 3324. And after the expiration of her lease, she becomes responsible for that amount.
And housing no longer is
That's correct.
responsible. All right.
But
So,
housing is
yes, you can take that to housing. Housing's asking for that paper and they will figure it out with you, okay?
one thing, Your Honor. So I have 5 days to move out, and when I or appeal. If
Or
I
appeal
appeal,
it.
okay, or appeal it. So what does that mean? Do I
Okay. So
still gotta move out in 5 days?
hold on, let me answer your question.
Okay.
You've got 5 days to move out or appeal it. If you want to appeal it, you can come down to the court and get the proper paperwork and fill it out, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You've got 5 days to do that starting tomorrow,
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
okay? Or move out, one of the two, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Sounds okay.
All right, thank you guys.
Okay,
And that concludes our docket for 1. We will resume back here in about 10 minutes.
Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Bye.
Let me get Iglesias de Cristo and a Troy and a Jamaica. I think Jamaica is on Zoom. Come on up.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, go ahead and get it started. What's going on here?
What's going on?
Is there any back rent that you're asking for?
Any what I'm sorry?
Back rent?
No, his name right here, James Schoonover. He let Jamaica stay on the back of the property, church property. But they had a verbal agreement as to like they were gonna do some work on the cut the yard, do some trimming on trees. And unfortunately, they haven't been able to. They haven't done it. So he's asking them to vacate the property.
Okay, and he's the owner of the house?
No, it's a church. It's an organization. Like it's by the state.
The Iglesia de Cristo.
Yes.
And that's what you filed under. Okay.
Yes.
They are the owner of the property.
Yes, the
Yes,
church.
Iglesia. Okay. All right, so we can proceed forward.
Wasn't originally had the agreement.
You-
It was just a verbal agreement that they would do the work that I normally do voluntarily. And
Your Honor.
Give me 1 minute, ma'am. I will let you speak.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
area where I normally would say,
Okay.
while they were doing the work. But the problem was the, Troy Floyd, was, has a violent temper. And, he, approached me, and with this.
Wow.
With this problem. And, in his presence, and he was concerned about my safety.
Okay.
So the church decided that they should not stay there.
Okay, give me 1 minute, okay? Give me 1 minute. All right, Miss Jamaica, do you own the property?
I own the trailer that I'm staying on the property with. That's all I own. But due to the fact that he did say that we were supposed to be working, as time went by, he did say to work, and he would pay us $25 every other week, so per se. And as Troy started to work, he wouldn't get paid every day. And also he had found another job, so that's why he wasn't able to work every day as supposed to. So that caused the problem right here. So, and then also, not only did Mr. Jim cut off the lights and water to our residence where we're staying at, it was organized by him and another property owner to do so to get us to move. Now, we did say we were going to move if they gave us an eviction and at least, a couple of more days or 30 days to be able to find a vehicle to move our trailer and enough time to get enough money to move our trailer to a different property.
And how much time are you asking for?
I was asking at least 20 to 30 days, if possible, to be able to get a vehicle and the money, because unfortunately our vehicle is not working at the moment. So we're not able to get out into town to be able to get money for the rent, or anybody that we know that has a vehicle to pull our trailer as
Okay,
well.
give me 1 minute, hold on. She's asking for 30 days to move out. Are you willing to give her 30 days?
No.
Okay, no, Miss Jamaica, they're not willing to give you 30 days. Are you willing to give her any more days besides the additional 5 days?
We gave them a 3-day notice.
Are you willing to give them any additional time other than the 5 days?
No, they've had plenty of time.
Okay.
No.
All right, Miss Jamaica, they are not willing to give you more than the 5 days.
Okay, so can I ask this? How are we supposed to move our trailer with no vehicle, and how are we supposed to get our rent? Because like Mr. Jim knows, and
Ma'am, I
and
can't
he-
answer that question. There's no way I can answer that question. You have to do what you got to do.
How is that his problem? He's already done way more than he's had to.
So what would happen to our trailer? It'll get possessed?
It's going to be up to, I don't know. You'd have to hire an attorney.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So judgment's going to be for possession only. And then for a trailer, is it an RV?
No, ma'am, it doesn't. It's moved by vehicle. It's. I can show
It's a
you.
standard, like double wide trailer?
Yes, ma'am. It's this trailer right here.
Okay, so it's an RV.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the RV doesn't qualify for the 10 days. All right, so it's going to be possession only. You've got 5 days to move out or appeal it. Thank you, Mr.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Dazavin and Brand versus Janice. Is it Dazavin and Brand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. All right, go ahead and get it started. What is the monthly rent?
Currently now is $975. It was different. She was on Section 8, but it was canceled back in September last year.
October. Don't let him finish, and then I will let you speak. I don't like to be interrupted. Okay.
So I told them that they could that she could just pay me a little bit less, which was $975. Last payment I received was February 22nd of $500, and I haven't received anything since that point. And I like to, yeah.
Okay, you said housing got terminated when?
It was, the letter I got from them was October 31st.
Can I see
Contract
that,
was
Joe?
terminated. Yes, sir. But they stopped payment prior to that, and I wasn't informed about the payment being stopped until there was no money in the bank.
What are you asking for at this point?
A possession of my property.
Just possession, no money.
I don't want anything, yes.
Okay. All right, so we're not even talking about money at this point. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. All right, so Miss Janice, okay, I know you got 1,000 things to tell me, but I'm gonna tell you right now, we're not talking about money, okay? He doesn't even want money.
He refused to fix the property. Our shower has been running since February.
No, stay right there,
And we've got $1,500 in water bills
okay?
because he refused to fix it. I've got pictures of the faucet. I've got pictures of outlets that have caught on fire, that he refused to fix the fuse box after he said he would. I have pictures
So let me
of the
stop you.
house falling apart
Stop,
because
stop.
he
Just wait,
refused.
stop. Never
Janice.
talk. Let me tell you something.
Miss Janice, I understand that you may have some issues with the living conditions of the house.
We
Okay.
have black mold in our home because he refused to fix things.
I understand, but I don't write the law, okay?
The handicapped child who is on an oxygen concentrator and severely handicapped and epileptic.
Okay.
And these are things that could have cost her life.
Very much so, very much so. And you have every right. Can I finish? That's enough. I am trying to talk. I understand that you have 1,000 things and that you are very upset about the living conditions of the house. I get that. I need you to listen to me. Under the rules of eviction, that does not prevent you from not paying rent. Okay, that does not also obligate you to stay in the property.
We didn't have a formal agreement for rent.
Okay, and he's not asking for rent, so we're not even making this a money judgment, okay? So now I'm not saying you don't have recourse and that you can't turn around and you don't have a defense or that you don't have rights. I never said that. The thing is that you need to pursue them the right way, and not paying rent or staying there is not the right way to pursue it.
Never
If you,
got a written notice to vacate either.
okay, can I see your notice to vacate?
He says he sent it certified mail and I never signed anything. I never received anything.
Here's the packet that I sent. That was the vacate. Here's the receipt from the United States Postal.
There you go. That's all I need.
Even without my signature?
Ma'am, if nobody signs a notice to vacate, who's gonna get evicted?
I mean, he could post it on the door like the law says.
He can post it, but he can also certify it. He don't have to do it your way. There's 3 different ways to do it. Certification is one of
I
them.
never signed it.
Okay?
Shouldn't he continue to try to give it to me?
No.
Because I didn't know we were supposed to vacate.
Why didn't you sign it? It's certified
I
mail.
wasn't home.
Okay, and they
I
usually live,
have children that have doctor's appointments. I wasn't home.
okay, and they don't leave a letter for you to go to the post office and sign and pick up a message.
Receive anything.
Okay,
I
well,
did not receive anything.
okay, so unfortunately, this is good enough for me for the certified mail. All right, so Miss Janice, you're still there on the property?
No, oh, well, we are almost fully moved out.
Okay, how quickly can you move out?
A week and a half, 2 weeks. We've got most of our stuff except for our big furniture moved out.
Are you willing to give her a week?
Oh man, I'm gonna immediately go.
All right, Miss Janice, so, and you're asking for possession only, no money judgment?
Yeah, I just want possession of property.
Miss Janice, they're not willing to, they want their judgment.
How do I countersue? How do I sue him for this stuff?
Okay,
The damage that was done, because we repaired most of this and we didn't get compensated for it.
you can talk to an attorney. You can hire an attorney, or you can go out there and see if you can get legal aids paperwork. They can help you. It's income based. And then you can turn around and talk to your attorney and see what legal rights you have, okay? Judgment's gonna be for possession only. You do have 5 days to move out or appeal it, okay?
Where do I appeal? Just
If you want to go up to the front, you can ask the clerks for the appeal process, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, Miss Janice. You have a good one, okay? I suggest you stop talking right now before you get in handcuffs.
Yeah.
Needless to say, I had to chunk out that word. Yeah, I'm surprised she wasn't held in contempt for that one.
Good afternoon, Ms. Fashan.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
And good afternoon, Mr. Scott. I'm calling your case, which is the people of the state of Michigan versus Michael Joseph Scott. This is case number 25488 SM. We're here for an arraignment this morning. May I have appearances, please, for the record?
Yes, Your Honor. Melissa Vachon on behalf of Mr. Scott while he appears separately from the East Lansing Police Department.
Thank you very much. Mr. Scott, can you please confirm that you can hear and see me and Ms. Vachon?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is an arraignment, Mr. Scott. The purpose of this hearing is for me to inform you of the charges against you, the maximum possible penalty, and all of your rights. You're charged in count 1 with the crime of child abuse in the 4th degree. That's a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 1 year in jail or probation for up to 5 years. In count 2, you're charged with the crime of domestic violence second offense, which is a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 1 year and or $1,000. A consecutive sentence may be imposed under state law if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. Mr. Scott, do you understand these 2 charges and the maximum possible penalty?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have a right to an attorney to assist you, and if you can't afford an attorney, one will be provided for you at public expense. Ms. Vachon, is Mr. Scott making an application to your office?
Yes, he is, Your Honor.
And Mr. Scott, you have a right to a trial on both of these counts where you would have many rights available to you. Ms. Vachon, have you reviewed the trial rights with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, 1 to a not guilty plea.
Okay, and then so we'll be setting this for a pretrial conference. Ms. Horn, those dates are June 11th at 11:45 for the pretrial. Final pretrial is set for July 14th at 9:30. Jury selection is set for July 15th at 1. Ms. Vachon, we've received an updated address for Mr. Scott. Mr. Scott, that address you provided Ms. Vachon on Ottawa Street in Lansing, that is the address the court will use. You need to monitor your mail there. Ms. Vachon, would you like to be heard on bond?
Yes, Your Honor, I would request a personal recognizance bond for Mr. Scott. I don't believe that he is a flight risk at all. He's never failed to appear before for court. He is currently a full-time student at the barbershop school locally here. It's already a program that he's paid in full, and he's enrolled in there until February. Further, he has family here. The address that I provided the court is his mother's address, and he'll be residing with his mother for this case. I don't believe that he's a danger to the public, Your Honor. He will abide by all court orders. We discussed the no contact order, and he will abide by that. He will reside with his mother while the case is pending and have no contact with the complaining witness here. So I'd request a personal recognizance bond.
Thank you, Ms. Vachon. Mr. Scott, did you hear everything Ms. Vachon just told me?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Is that all true and accurate?
Yes, indeed, it is, Your Honor.
As it relates to public safety, which is the primary factor this court is considering, obviously these charges are serious. They're some of the most serious offenses that this court litigates, and they are assaultive allegations in nature, and they involve both violence against a intimate partner and a child. So there are serious concerns. I can't agree with Ms. Vachon that there are no public safety concerns vis-a-vis these two complaining witnesses. And then, Mr. Scott, unfortunately, in reviewing your criminal history, it gives the court reason to have further concerns with public safety. So this is all to say that the court has serious concerns about you and public safety. And if the court were to go along with what Ms. Vachon is requesting and grant you a personal bond so you could remain in the community while these charges are pending, it would have to be because there will be conditions put in place which will mitigate the court's concerns, and those conditions will, of course, require your commitment to compliance. And if we have any issues with anything, I just have to be very straightforward, Mr. Scott. The court would have no hesitation to revoke your bond and or impose additional conditions. So is that all clear, Mr. Scott?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. With that, Mr. Scott, your bond is set at $1,000 personal recognizance. You are subject to the following conditions. You must appear as directed. You may not leave the state of Michigan without permission of this court. You must not commit any crime while you are on bond to this court. You must not have any contact with the person named Aaron Noel LaRoque, and it's spelled Laroque. When I say no contact, that means contact by any means or mode. You may not call, you may not text, you may not message on social media, you may not be within this physical person, you may not go to their home, their work, their place of school, and you must not have a third party, such as a mutual friend or family member or anyone, contact Aaron LaRoque on your behalf. And if you did that, any of those things, you would be subject to immediate arrest without a warrant, and your bond would be forfeited. Additionally, you may not purchase or possess any firearm. And all of those possible conditions, including arrest without a warrant, would apply if you violate that condition. Are there any firearms, Mr. Scott, in your possession or at your mother's home that we need to discuss?
No, Your Honor. I don't own any weapons.
Well, that seems like a good idea. Then you may not enter in the city of East Lansing. And again, if you were to violate that condition, you would be subject to immediate arrest without a warrant. I don't have any information regarding especially the child abuse allegations, whether there's a CPS or family court, any orders, but Mr. Scott, if you are subject to any CPS or family court orders, I'm adopting those and you must follow those. You must not engage in any assaultive, harassing, or threatening behavior towards any individual. And Mr. Scott, you must not purchase or possess alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal controlled substance. To ensure compliance with that, you'll need to submit to random drug screening that'll be overseen here by the 54B District Court. You will need to report to this court within 24 hours of your release from custody. And then finally, Mr. Scott, the court is ordering that you may not be released without a GPS tether. So you must have a GPS tether affixed, and that'll have a $2,000 square foot exclusion zone with the address the court listed on. And then if the victim requests notification, the court will order victim notification for that GPS tether. So I see you have a question. Is that okay, Ms. Fishon?
If you could just address it in a breakout room after the arraignment, Mr. Scott.
Okay, thank you. Sure, you'll get placed in a breakout room. Mr. Scott, I'm signing an order here for you to have your fingerprints taken. That will happen hopefully before you leave custody. And once again, just to be clear, you'll need to, my understanding, you'll need to go to the Ingham County Jail to get that tether affixed before you're released. So that'll have to happen. And then whatever the timing is, within 24 hours of your release, you'll need to appear here physically to this court and meet with the probation officer who will get you set up for random drug testing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you so much. That's all for this case. Ms. Fishon will place you and Mr. Scott in a breakout room.
Yeah. Too many of them are let off on PR bonds. I will say this, though. I do have a feeling that in the case of the allegations of the abuse of a child, Michigan has something that I think is a phenomenal idea. Whereas if you commit an act of DV in the presence of a child, then it's automatically charged as that. So you'll get the DV charge, and then you'll also have the child abuse charge, because they've learned that has lasting mental effects, on the child, and can cause significant trauma for years. So it is abuse. I don't know other states that do that, but I know that's something that Michigan has, and I like it. I think that every state should have that.
Okay, good morning. It is 9:28. Who's there?
Good morning, Judge Jill Drake for the city.
All right. And who do we have for the legal defender?
Good morning, Your Honor. Kyle Edgerton on behalf of the defendants.
Damn it all. You ought to.
I get picked on so much in this job.
You ought to prosecute me for harassment. It's gone too far. All right, Mr. Edgerton, anything you want to say?
Yes, Your Honor. We are in receipt of the charging documents in the various cases. Names are properly reflected unless I tell you otherwise, and anyone who enters a plea of no contest or guilty stipulates to a factual basis for their charge.
Okay, let's get rolling. Let's go to Christian Esparza.
Your Honor, we do have, I think, one or two Spanish language cases.
Yeah, I think Esparza is the first one, and then we have, yeah. Okay, is Mr. Esparza there?
Right here, Your Honor.
Señor Esparza, yes.
And Your
Okay.
Honor, he's an English speaker, Your Honor.
Okay, sí, comprende.
Okay.
All right. Any offers on this?
No, I would ask for a plea to both charges on this case.
Okay, Mr. Esparza, what's your plea to possession of fireworks and pyrotechnics?
No contest.
Okay, what's your plea to obstructing resisting?
No contest.
All right, City.
Looks like he ran from the police, was possibly lighting off fireworks downtown by the Reno Arch. There is an indication that he's interested in substance abuse treatment. I don't know if that's still the case. But regardless, I'll ask for time served on the running from the police. and a suspended sentence of maybe 60 days on the fireworks and obey all laws.
Okay, Mr. Edgerton.
Your Honor, in terms of treatment, he does have some matters pending in Sparks Justice Court where he might get that help. I would agree with the time served on the O&R. I'd also ask for time served on the fireworks. If the court thinks a suspended sentence is necessary, I'd ask for 10 days.
All right. How long we been in custody for?
Since the 24th, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Esparza, obstructing, resisting, time served on the possession of fireworks. It's going to be 30 days, suspended for 1 year. When you get out of jail, you report upon release. Reno Municipal Court, your conditions are simple: obey all laws and no drugs or alcohol. And submit yourself to alcohol testing if determined necessary. Thank you, sir. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. What do you want? Okay. Paul Silve. We've got 3 cases. What do we want?
Your Honor, Mr. Silva is going to be pleading no contest to these. He also is Alex Wilson, same date of birth.
All right, sir. On 06616, what's your plea? What's your plea to paraphernalia?
I plead guilt, no contest. So.
Got it. That's good. Okay. Do you admit failing to appear on May 14th? Yes or no?
Do you admit that you didn't go to court? So yes, sir.
Okay. How long you been in jail?
Since the 24th, Your Honor. Since the 24th, Your Honor.
All right. Okay. Let's see. Then we're going to go down to the other case. What's your plea to the trespassing charge on April 23rd?
So no contest.
Okay. And what's your plea to trespassing on April 7th?
So no contest, sir.
Okay. City?
I was thinking about referring him to community court.
Okay. You want community court, young man?
So no, sir. I just I just got out of prison from doing 8 years. I didn't know I was trespassed. I was in that casino and did not know I was trespassed. I thought maybe it was like 6 months or a year and then it'd be stopped, but I'm pleading no contest to it now that I know that I'm trespassed.
Okay.
But I didn't know I was trespassed when I
got that. That's interesting. Mr. Edgerton, your thoughts?
Your Honor, Mr. Silv just wants to move on with his life. I'd ask that he be given time served on all the cases. And did we call up the one 25 CR 06140? That's an open container charge.
No, I didn't have that.
I'll go ahead and dismiss that. I didn't have any
Okay.
there.
All right, City.
I'm thinking on one of the trespasses, maybe 25 suspended for 1 year, no contact with the pepper mill, time served on the rest of it.
Okay, on the 06616, it's going to be time served on both those, including the FTA. On 06021, it's 30 days suspended for 1 year. You're going to report upon release to the Reno Municipal Court. Conditions are simple: obey all laws, no drugs or alcohol, and do not walk back onto the property of the pepper mill. And on 04965, it's time served. Thank you, sir. Good luck. All right, let's go to Anthony Ross.
Don't go back to the pepper mill ever. Not even if another 8 or 10 or 12 years passes. I don't know how they recognized you after 8 years, but leave the pepper mill alone. It's a salty place.
Sorry. Hello, Mr. Ross. What's your plea to the trespass at the Chevron?
I guess no contest. I went to the.
That's okay. Good. Thank you. Miss the city.
Looks like he's been in for 7 days. I'd recommend time served, but it looks like he's an ongoing problem for them. So I'll recommend 10 days or 20 days suspended and stay away from that gas station on 700 North Sierra Street.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Mr. Edgerton.
Your Honor, I would ask for the 7 days time served.
Okay. It'll be time served, young man. Stay away from that Chevron. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, got it. All right, let's go to Carson Gonzalez. We have a motion from the city.
Carson Gonzalez. Oh, looks like he was remanded to Lakes Crossing.
Yeah,
City will move to dismiss our charge without prejudice.
okay, so granted. Okay, let's go to Ian Lyda, LYDA.
And Your Honor, we briefly saw Mr. Lyda in videos on Saturday.
Yeah.
I still believe that he needs to be evaluated to make sure he's able to participate in these proceedings.
Okay, it's going to be a competency eval as ordered. It'll be a no bail hold. Thank you, Mr. Lyda. All right, let's go to Jane Doe, AKA Tammy Gilchrist. It's 05165. You there, Miss Gilchrist?
Well, good morning, Judge.
Well, good morning. All right,
Pardon?
young lady, what's your plea to the, what's the offer, Jill?
Is this the camping and the O&R?
Yeah.
Okay. I would dismiss the camping for a plea on the O&R.
All right, young lady, what's your plea to obstructing, resisting?
Obstructing what? I was arresting.
Okay, I'm just asking you, what's your plea to that charge?
Ms. Gilchrist, we discussed a strategy here. Do you still want to just take responsibility for having some words with the officers and move on with your case?
Was that before or after he struck me?
Oh, who knows? That's a coin toss.
Anyway, yeah, I'm guilty for being too close to the river. Sure.
What's your plea to the obstructing and resisting?
Okay, guilty.
Okay, the camping is dismissed. City?
Recommend time served.
Time served, young lady. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
No, you bet. Okay, Lauren Morris.
Right here, back where you were. I was going to.
Okay. Miss Morris there?
Right here.
She is, Your Honor. Or she was.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Miss Morris, this is a contempt. And I'm reading down, the warrant provides that you were sentenced you were sentenced defendant. Let's see, this happened on April 3rd. Let me read this. Sentenced to 45 days jail, suspended for a year. Defendant was ordered to attend and complete 12 hours of DUI level 1 counseling, obey all laws, have no contact with Clinton Craiglow, consume no alcohol, drugs without a prescription, include marijuana, attend a self-help group, obtain substance abuse eval, attend all court hearings and court-related programs. On March 27th, you failed to check in your scheduled marshal review. Attempts have been made to contact you. However, the contact information is no longer valid as of April 17th. The defendant has failed to check in with her marshal, Reno Municipal Court, violation of the judge's orders. Okay, this is okay. That's
Your Honor, may I weigh in here?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so and the court correctly stated the basis for the warrant. Ms. Morris has been pretty engaged in the couple of cases she has going on. What it appears happened here is that she most recently did go and check in with Reno Sparks Indian Colony to get some services.
Got it.
She just assumed that information made it back to Reno Muni Court.
All right.
And that she didn't have updated contact information. So our proposal is that she'll admit the violation just for not staying in touch with her marshal, but then we'd ask that she be reinstated.
All right. Okay with that, Jill?
That makes sense to me. No problem.
All right. This is what you're going to do, Miss Morris. The contempt, it's going to be time served. What you're going to do is you're going to be reinstated on probation. When you get out of jail, you can report upon release to the Reno Municipal Court to resume the conditions that are set forth in your sentence. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's go to, that's Lauren Morris. That's another Morris. Yeah, Lauren Morris. That's for both cases. Yeah. Okay. That'll also apply to 03500. Okay. Amber Ramsford. Ramsford. All right, Miss Ramsford, did you on May of last year, it was one of those insurance cases that it's going to be $743 if you provided proof.
Yeah, and then I did provide proof. I provided proof of insurance and he lowered it.
You just didn't pay the $195?
Yeah, I didn't pay
That's fine. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna convert that 195 over to time served, and you'll be free to go today. Your underlying conditions are waived. Thank you.
Thank you.
You bet. Okay, let's go to Sierra Rose Seward.
She refused, Your Honor, for today. And then I was going to draw the court's attention to Espinosa Quiros. That is our other Spanish-speaking case, or our only Spanish-speaking case.
Okay, are you gonna direct my attention to that?
I am, Your Honor.
Okay, my attention is so directed. What was it again?
Espinosa Quiros, 02262. It's a 25 TR case.
Espinosa, God, you've got to go all the way down there. Just couldn't give me one. Okay, there we go. Brailo Alberto Espinosa Quiros. Key. Is there an interpreter on this?
Yes, Your Honor, right here.
Okay, young lady. Sir, are you there?
Señor, ¿está ahí?
Sí.
Yes.
All right. You admit failing to appear on February 25th of this year?
Admite haber tenido una falta de comparecencia el 25 de febrero de este año.
Sí. Okay.
Yes.
All right. What's your plea to driver's license required?
¿Cómo se declara al requerimiento de tener que tener licencia de conducir?
¿Cómo?
What do you mean?
What's your plea to driving without a driver's license on January 25th?
¿Cómo se declara a conducir sin licencia válida el 25 de enero?
No contest. Okay.
No contest?
How long you been in jail, young man?
Since the
¿Cuánto
23rd,
tiempo
Your Honor.
llevas? Ajá. Okay.
Apologize.
Since the 23rd.
Okay, that's it'll be 23.
Tres, ya.
Bien.
Can I? Ajá.
Yeah,
¿Lleva ahí
yeah.
desde el 23, señor?
Sí.
Yes,
All
yes.
right. Time served. Tiempo servido.
Servido. Crédito por el plazo ya cumplido, señor, ahí en la cárcel, ¿ok?
All right.
That's
Thank you,
fine.
Miss Interpreter. Adios.
Thank you. Adios.
All right. Why do we even need an interpreter with my bilingualness? Tavion Brown. You there, Mr. Brown?
Yes, Your Honor. And he's going to be maintaining his not guilty pleas.
Oh, okay. What's your plea to those 3 traffic charges, sir?
Can I ask my attorney what I played earlier?
Mr. Brown, we said you were going to maintain your not guilty plea on all these charges.
Okay.
And then you still have bond set here. You're going to see Justice Court later today.
Okay, thank you.
All right, what's your plea?
Not guilty.
Okay, the bail set at $500. We'll keep that at $500.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Am I able to get time served for that $500 bond, or do I have to pay that?
You got to pay it.
All right, that's fine.
What I would suggest too is you get out of jail, go get your license, get your registration, and get your insurance. And
I have my license, right? I got my license. Like I have a valid California ID. I mean, a valid California license. But I had caught a case out here, and they said it was like revoked out here, but I could drive in California.
All right. Well, you'll figure that out when you go to court on this matter, when you go to your trial. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right, let's go to Ruben Carrillo. All right, Mr. Carrillo, what's your plea to the domestic battery charge?
Not guilty.
Okay. City on bail, I've already set at 2,000.
Yeah, his risk is a 12. So I do think we need monetary bail. I wrote down that it was set at 1,500, but I'll submit it. And also a no contact order with the alleged victim.
Got it. Okay, Mr. Edgerton.
Your Honor, I would concur with $1,500 bondable and a no contact order.
All right, it was bumped up on the 26th. It'll be $2,000 bondable, young man. You make that bond. You report upon release to the Reno Municipal Court. You got a legal defender granted you. There will be no contact with Diana Carrillo at no drugs, no alcohol, obey all laws. And once again, so go ahead, Donna, give them a trial date and legal defender information.
That's going to be July 10th, 8 o'clock. Keith Loomis will be the legal defender.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Creel. Okay, let's go to Michael Christensen. We've got two. Do we have 2 cases on him? 1 of 2?
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. All right, young man, this is 01389. Do you admit failing to appear on February 11th of this year? Do you admit failing to appear? Say yes. Good. Okay, I'm giving you time served on that. What's your plea to no insurance?
I still need to get insurance, Your Honor.
Okay, what's your plea?
No contest.
Okay, this is what you're gonna do, young man. You're gonna get out of jail today. You're gonna report upon release to the Reno Municipal Court. Your fine is gonna be $743. I'm gonna give you 45 days to either get insurance or an operator's policy. If you do it at that time, within that 45 days, your fine goes down to $195. If you blow this off, the warrant will go off for your arrest and you'll start all over again. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, good luck.
Your Honor, before we cut Mr. Christensen loose, there are two cases with similar charges. There's one with a registration charge. I don't know if the city is happy with one plea to both.
On his second case, the city would dismiss the registration for his plea to the no insurance.
Okay, what's your plea to that no insurance again, sir?
No contest, Your Honor.
Okay, once again, you're gonna report upon release to Reno Municipal Court. It's gonna be $743. It's gonna run consecutive. That'll give you some impetus. If you get that insurance within 45 days, either insurance on the car you have or else operator's policy, which will cover everything. The
Yes,
fine's gonna go down to $195. You got it?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
Just check in with the court, get it all worked out. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You bet. Sean Carson. Oh, Richard Davies. Is Davies here?
He's not, Your Honor. Yeah, so we did have a short exchange with his staff. It sounds like their preference is that he maintain his not guilty plea. And so we could just talk essentially about a holding.
That's fine.
Custody matter.
Okay, Mr. Carson, you there?
Yes, sir.
What's your plea to the DUI? Not guilty.
Still not guilty, sir.
Not guilty. I'm sorry.
All right, pretrial conditions, I've got $3,000 surety bond. If you make your bail, report upon release to the Reno Municipal Court, you're subject to enhanced testing, obey all laws, no drugs or alcohol. Is there a variance from that, Mr. Edgerton?
I'll submit, Your Honor.
Okay, that'll be the conditions, young man. You post $3,000, you make that, you report upon release, Reno Municipal Court, obey all laws, no drugs or alcohol, and you're subjected to enhanced testing. And Mr. Davies is still your attorney. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Wait a second. Oh, no, we don't. Okay. Michael Christensen.
You can have that. Your Honor, you just did Christensen.
That's what I thought. I was just checking to see if you remembered. Okay. Tony Derby. Tony Derby. Is that the
one of the least famous horse races, Your Honor?
Damn it, what is it? The Kentucky. That's right, Kentucky Derby. All right, Mr. Derby, you there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, what you are charged with? Simple battery, 2 counts. What's your plea?
Mr. Derby, were you still going to plead not guilty like we discussed?
Yes.
Okay, be not guilty then, sir. What your bail is set at $2,500 bondable. You make that bail, report upon release to the Reno Municipal Court. A legal defender's been granted. Pretrial conditions, obey all laws, no drugs or alcohol. So be subjected to alcohol testing. No contact with Shayna Franks, F-A-R-A-N-K-S, or William Franks at 3611 La Tierra. Okay?
All right.
Thanks, man. Okay, let's go to Braillo Espinoza Quiros.
We heard that one, Your Honor.
That's what I thought.
Just
okay,
checking.
let's go to Nico Jimenez. DUI 1120 release.
And this one's a bit confusing too, Your Honor. May I step in?
Yeah, please.
So, Mr. Jimenez, a warrant came out ostensibly because he did not report upon release on December 6th. He maintains that he wasn't released until February.
Okay.
And basically our request is just to reinstate him into his conditions. He intends to complete his victim impact program as soon as he's at liberty to do so.
All right, sir. Do you admit failing to comply with the order of the court?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, okay. I'm giving you time served on that contempt. What you're gonna do, young man, is you're gonna report upon release to the Reno Municipal Court and you're gonna complete your conditions, which I guess is VIP is the only thing, Kyle?
That was the basis for the warrant, Your Honor.
Okay, get your VIP done and all other conditions on that case. You understand?
Yeah, I'll get it done as soon as I'm released. I'll go straight to the place and get my victim impact bound done.
Well, check in with the court too to make sure that any other conditions are met.
Yes.
All right, good luck. Thank you.
But my bail is gone.
You're out of jail today, young man.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Can we do Stacy Jackson? Yeah.
You know, you guys, I swear to God, just because he's Mr. Cutie doesn't, okay. Who
And
is
Your Honor,
it?
Miss Jackson's on your docket sheet under the name Steffens or Stevens.
Oh, I remember that one, okay.
Hey,
Okay, Miss Stevens. Let me-
yes,
Okay, hold on just a minute.
okay.
Town, okay. Okay, young lady.
Yes.
Do you, is there a failure to comply? Okay, what's your plea of the trespass? Let me ask you this. Do you admit failing to appear on August 27th of last year?
Yeah, I didn't know that I had court and I
Okay,
apologize for
that's
that.
fine. So you admit to it?
Yeah,
Okay, what's your, Jill, what is the failure to comply? What was that all about?
oh, sorry. Oh my God.
I'm not sure, Judge. I just have the trespassing.
Okay, I probably, okay, what's your plea to the trespassing charge, young
I don't
lady?
know. Sorry.
What's your plea? Just simple, just take
I
it
don't
deep.
know what he said to say guilty so I could get out of here today.
Okay, what's your plea to the trespassing
They
charge?
said guilty so I could get out of here today.
How long you been in jail?
I've been in there 2 days.
City okay with time served?
Yes.
So the victim's her father. This case is almost a year old. I'll submit it.
Time served, young lady. Be a good
Thank
girl.
you.
You betcha.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go back. Yeah,
Got one more request, please.
yeah, go ahead.
Lynch.
Lynch. Last name Penn?
Last
No.
name Lynch.
Last name Lynch. You didn't get it. All right, LMNO. Okay, Tuesday. Oh, wait, it's right. Tuesday is Lynch. Tuesday Lynch.
Yes, that's my
Okay.
name.
All right, we've got 2 cases, young lady. Do you admit failing to comply with the order of the court to show your insurance?
I
Okay,
have,
that's fine. Did you get insurance?
I don't have the car, but I do have proof on that car. I can get it.
Okay, this is what we're gonna do, young lady. I'm gonna reinstate. How long you been in jail?
3 days.
Give you time served on that, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna report upon release to the Reno Municipal Court. I'm gonna give you 45 days.
You got it?
Yeah, I'm just gonna give you time served on that. Okay, time served for the insurance. Okay, the second one, do you admit failing to appear on April 2nd of this year?
Yeah, that was
Okay, what's your plea to the trespass charge?
not guilty.
Not guilty? Okay, city on bail?
I think she has a propensity to not appear. I do think we need some monetary bail. Maybe 500 bondable.
500, good, Mr. Edgerton?
I'll submit, Your Honor.
All right, it'll be $500 bail, young lady. You make that bail. We're gonna give you a trial date. You
Is
make
that
that bail, listen to me, you make that bail, report upon release to Reno Municipal Court. Obey all laws, no drugs or alcohol, obey all laws. Where was the trespass, Jill?
I'm sorry.
Sorry, it was at Walmart.
Okay, no contact with Walmart. Don't go back to Walmart. All right,
Is
that'll
the
be,
phone bondable?
yeah, it is. It's $500 bondable.
Oh, thank you.
All right, so we'll get you, Martha, Donna, can I get a trial date for this young lady?
It is June 26th at 1 o'clock.
All right, thank you, Miss Lynch. All right, let's go up to, unless we have any other interruptions, let's go up to Pierre Knight, 12823. Oh, God, okay.
And Your Honor, this is another funny one. We had a revocation hearing with Mr. Knight on February 25th. I handled that in videos. He wasn't aware that he was supposed to report upon release to reestablish his conditions, and so a warrant came out a month later. That's the reason we're here. I would just ask that he's going to admit the failure to coordinate with the marshals.
All right, do you admit, young man, failing to comply with that order of the court?
Yes, sir.
All right, city have any problems with just referring back to the court to reinstitute the conditions?
No problem with that.
Okay, for the contempt, young man, I'm going to give you time served, but what you're going to do is you're going to report upon release to the Reno Municipal Court, you're going to reinstitute the conditions that were on that case. If you don't, I'm giving you one bite at the apple. If you don't, you're going to go to jail for 6 months. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, that'll be the order. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Brian Lax. A TIV, or it's just Brian Lax. A TIV. Oh.
Night.
Got to run to the bathroom.
I expected a joke, just not that one.
All right, Mr. Lax, what's your plea to the peering, peeping, spying through the window?
Mr. Your Honor, Mr. Lax has another case that's set in your court June 24th. He wanted to know if the city had a global offer as to those two charges.
Wait, I'm sorry. Please repeat that. I was just reading that.
No,
down.
that's fine. That probably caught you flat-footed. Mr. Lax has another set of charges in this court, but not on the docket today. And he wanted to know if the city had a global offer to convey.
Not today, but we could work on that and put him back in a couple days.
So, Mr. Lax, that's the city's position. You could still decide to plead not guilty here and consolidate those cases. That would be my recommendation.
All right, Mr. Lax, what's your plea to the peering, peeping thing?
So what my lawyer said.
What's your plea?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
Not guilty.
Okay, not guilty. The bond's going to be remained at $5,000, and it'll be consolidated with the other case that we have.
Alrighty, thank you.
All right, you got a. Did you apply for a legal defender?
I don't know how to because they pulled me on a warrant and then they just gave me these charges yesterday.
Donna, do we have a legal defender assigned?
No, we don't.
Okay, you're going to report upon. I'm sorry. Give me a trial date.
That being consolidated is June 24th.
All right, and I imagine there's probably a legal defender with that one also. Is there a legal defender with the other one?
Let me check,
actually...
please.
Oh, sorry.
There is. It is Eric Nickel.
Okay, those will be consolidated, sir. Trial date, bond remain the same. Thank you.
So I was okay.
All right, thank you. Okay, did we do Bruce O'Man?
Not yet, Your Honor.
Okay, Bruce O'Man, please. It's 07161.
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning. Plea to the DUI, not guilty?
Not guilty, sir.
Okay. Bond set at 2,500. Did you apply for legal defense or no? Bond was reduced from 35 to 2,500. Did you apply for a legal defender?
Yes, I did, Your Honor. Can I ask you a question?
No. Donna, who's legal defender?
That's going to be Eric Nickel for July 15th at 8 o'clock.
All right, that'd be the trial date, sir. You make that bond, which is 2,500. It's been reduced from 3,500. You report upon release Reno Municipal Court. Your conditions are all bail laws, no drugs or alcohol, and those will be the conditions. Make the bail, report upon release. If not, you'll be in jail pending your trial.
And Your Honor, may I be heard on this just briefly? Yeah. What Mr. Rahman is trying to say is he's in a very tight spot. He doesn't really have anyone who can post bail. He does have some money on his books. His very strong request is to have cash bail. So maybe if the court is lowered at maybe 375 or 500 cash, which would be the equivalent.
Or even 750, Your Honor. I have a job. I have a cat. I take care of my 92-year-old roommate. Your Honor, I'm going to lose my vehicle if I don't go out there and get it out of impound. I'm begging.
Right. How much cash do you have?
I have $1,000 on the books, sir. But
it's going to be 1,000 cash.
Okay, so I can bail out.
Make the 1,000. Now, this is a deal. You report upon release of Reno Municipal Court. Your pretrial conditions are bail laws, no drugs or alcohol, and subjected to alcohol testing. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Jesus Pasaye, Pasaye. All right, Mr. Pasaye, you trespassed on the railroad tracks, community court conditions. 8 hours community service was suspended. I'm assuming that you didn't go. Am I correct?
Right.
Correct, Your Honor. He overslept.
How long you been in jail, sir?
What's Saturday?
All right, let's get back on track. Well, I was going to say let's get back on track, but that's probably bad advice. It's going to be time served. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Nobody gets it.
That was a good one.
That wasn't bad. Yeah. I don't want to derail the case. All right, Brian Ramirez. Mr. Ramirez, are you there?
Yes, sir.
What's your plea to obstructing resisting?
No contest.
All right, City.
He's been in since the 23rd. I'll recommend time served.
Time served, young man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Right. Kalis Reed, REID, 15113.
And Your Honor, he's been in since the 24th of May. Our request here is going to be to convert everything to custodial time. He'll do about 2 more days, and that ought to even things out.
Okay. All right, Mr. Reed, you admit failing to comply with the order of the court
Yes.
All right, I'm going to, how long you been in jail?
Since Friday.
All right, I'm gonna give you 2 more days on top of that and convert the fine to, and conditions to, time served. Additional 2 days and you'll be out of jail. Everything's taken care of.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank
bet.
you.
All right, Ramon Renteria.
Your Honor, we'll be asking if the city has an offer in these 2 cases.
That's fine. I would just ask for a plea on his most recent case from May 24th, the trespassing. I would dismiss his older citation, the urinating in public.
Yeah, that'll, there was a leak on that case. All right, Mr. Renteria, are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. What's your plea to the trespass?
No contest.
All right, it'll be time served and time served on the and the other 2 cases are going to be dismissed and the warrant's going to be quashed. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, Richard Rios.
Morning, sir.
All right, Mr. Rios, city, any offer?
Ask for a plea to the ONR, I dismiss the open container and the intoxicated pedestrian.
All right, young man, what's your plea to the ONR?
Guilty.
Okay, the open container is dismissed, the intoxicated pedestrians dismissed. How long you been in jail?
Since Friday.
Okay, time served. Thank you, sir. All right, let's go to, we did Stacy Stevens. Marcus Swanson.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. What's your plea to the second domestic?
Not guilty.
Got it. Got the bond set at 1,500. Okay, you got a legal defender granted. Pretrial conditions, obey all laws, no drugs or alcohol. If you make that bond, Martha, trial date.
That's going to be July 24th, 1 o'clock with Kyle Edgerton.
Oh my God, good hands. All right, that'll be the order, sir. See if you can make that bond. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Christopher Tabory, Tabory.
Morning, Your Honor.
Do 30 days. All right, sir, you admit failing to appear,
Yes.
failing to comply. Okay, you were given 16 hours of community service. How long you been in jail?
Since the 24th.
Since when?
24th.
Okay, I'm gonna convert that into time served and on the I'm gonna just assume the city's gonna dismiss. What's your plea to no insurance on April 21st?
No contest.
Okay, what's your plea to the no driver's license?
No contest.
What's your plea to the registration?
No contest.
Okay, this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna report upon release to the Reno Municipal Court.
Okay.
If you get the registration, it's gonna be $195. If you get the registration, now just go down to the municipal court, don't blow this off. It's gonna be $195 for the registration. If you get registration in 45 days from the date you're released and you provide that to the court, that charge is dismissed. Driver's license, same thing, $195. If you get your driver's license within 45 days, it's dismissed, or else you owe $195. On the insurance.
The vehicle has been sold though.
Okay, then you're gonna owe $195. As far as the insurance is concerned, it's $743, giving you 45 days to get insurance or get an operator's policy. If you do that, then the fine goes from $743 down to $195. You understand?
I do.
All right, so report upon release from the municipal court and set up those conditions, or else a warrant will go out for your arrest and you'll do more time in jail. So get it wrapped up.
Yeah, the vehicle was insured at the time. I just didn't have proof, but
Well, then, if you bring in proof that you were insured at the time, the charge is dismissed.
Okay.
All right, you got it?
Yep.
All right, good luck. All right, Jesse Tomeo.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning. Okay, fourth warrant, no insurance, 743, given last chance on 10/22/24. City, I'm gonna find you in contempt. Violation condition. How long you been in jail?
Since Saturday.
All right, I'm gonna give you time served. It'll clear that up. Thanks, sir.
Thanks,
All right, let's go to Jamal Tolbert, Tolbert.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, young man. What's your plea to the assault charge?
Not guilty.
All right. City on bail?
His risk came back a 3. He does have some criminal history. I would recommend maybe $750 bondable.
Mr. Edgerton?
You know, the allegations here are that Mr. Tolbert exchanged words with a former coworker at a Walmart in South Reno. He now works at the Chewy facility up in North Reno. They have no reason to see each other. I think he can be OR'd with a no contact order.
All right. I'm sorry, did we plead not guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Did you apply for a legal defender, young man?
I did not.
Okay, apply for a legal defender. I'm gonna make this $500 bondable. You make that bond. You report upon release to the Reno Municipal Court. Your pretrial conditions are obey all laws. No contact with Anna Hernandez at the Walmart at 155 De Monte.
Okay.
Apply for a legal defender. Do you clear over 2,000 a month?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Probably. I get paid weekly, so.
Okay. After overhead, do you clear 2,000? Say no.
I'm not. No.
Oh, I think that's good answer. Okay, apply for Mark Donald. Let's grant him a legal defender. So let's give him a trial date, legal defender information.
That's going to be July 15th, 8 a.m. Eric Nickel is the legal defender.
Okay, Nickel, that makes sense, getting that attorney. Okay, and that's just another coin phrase. Anthony Uzeta, U-Z-E-T-A.
Yes. Sir, I think there's been a mistake. I thought I was going to tell you about my work situation where I can't come in daily to do drug tests, but my company has a drug and alcohol treatment program where they lock you
Okay,
down for 30 days.
hold on a second. You're charged with disturbing the peace. What's your plea?
Yep.
Oh, okay. City? How long you been in jail?
Since the 26th.
Since the 24th, Your Honor.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Problems with time served, Jill?
Yeah, I'm a little worried on this one. There's a victim. I'm gonna ask to continue it for a victim statement.
Okay, it is Tuesday. This is continued till Thursday. It'll be a no bail hold for the victim to be able to make a statement. Thank you, sir. All right, let's go to Lucky Vavale, V-A-A-V-A-L-E. Mr. Vavale, are you there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right here.
All right, what's your plea to the simple battery charge?
No contest.
Okay, we'll bump this out till Thursday for a victim statement. It'll be no bail hold on this. Thank you, sir.
And that's all she wrote. I thought I kept in the judge's ending, when he says goodbye to everybody, but I guess I didn't, because they had to go through all of the failure to appears and refusals, not failure to appears, because they're all inmates, but some of them refused. I love Judge Dad Joke. He's funny. He's funny stuff. Really? We got to get him a cane and a feathered cap, a velvet feathered cap, purple with the tiger stripe fabric above the brim, and then a feather coming off of it. Yeah. And then a long coat. He's got to have a long coat. We'll deck him out. We'll make him look just as pimp as he sounds. Well, I'm glad I got your approval. Hi, Tiny Kitten. Tiny Kitten Esquire. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Hello, Sherry Bee Honey. Yeah, Tiny Kitten. Tiny Kitten Esquire. Who my Tiny Kitten? Oh, Earl was in the window. Hello, Rose Batista, honey. I'm just getting ready to sign off. I'm tired. It's been an hour and 45 minutes. I've been going strong. And we are, oh my, we are one person away from 5K. When I wake up tomorrow, I'll have 5,000 subscribers. Happy day! How is that? Earl's much more cuddly than Sir Philip. Yes, at least 2 people. At least 2. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to work really hard and get something fantastic to watch. I know that, and I love you. Well, she was when I named her. She's actually still the tiniest of all of them. Actually, no, Bandit. Bandit's the tiniest of all of them. But Tiny Kitten is still, she just, everything about her is still kitten. All right, guys, I'm going to get some sleep. And tomorrow we celebrate. Thank you guys so much for coming and spending time with me. I had so much fun. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.